Learn more about the albums you love with Dissect, a music analysis podcast hosted by me, Cole Kushna, a lifelong musician. Each season of Dissect dives deep into one album, examining the music, lyrics, and meaning of one song per episode. We've covered albums by Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, Frank Ocean, just to name a few, and our brand new season just launched all about Radiohead's 2007 masterpiece, In Rainbows. Listen to Dissect on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, because great art deserves more than a swipe.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements, so many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. Callie Curry. We are back, baby.
Hello, hello.
We got 2 hours of Paradise and 1 hour of Golden Bachelor to dig into. Just some housekeeping. We will be doing this on Thursdays while Love is Blind is on. We're still doing Love is Blind on Mondays. And then after that, we'll do some more Bachelor content on Mondays, FYI. Also, Callie's out next week and the week after, so Jody will be missing you. So Callie, you'll have a lot to say when you come back. I'm not going to say you'll be out of commission or out of pocket. I think out of pocket is what I said.
Oh, yeah. I'm not having another baby. I promise.
Or going off the deep end. Let's get into it. Golden Bachelor. We're going to talk about our big takeaways. Callie, what is your overall impression of this new television program?
Ooh, okay. I would have to say that I think the program, I'm trying to think of a really good adjective, but the thing that just keeps popping into my mind is that I think it's really sweet.
It is sweet.
I really enjoyed it. It was a positive experience for me. 45 minutes was absolutely wonderful. I think that the thing I'm most worried about are the eliminations. Like, I was really worried by the end of the show that I didn't want any of these women to get hurt. Like, I don't want any cattiness. I really like them, and it's like heartwarming.
Okay, there's a lot to dig into here of what you just said. First of all, let's get to the length, which you mentioned right away. This is 1 hour, 42 minutes without commercials. And man, is it great. Rob Mills, if you're listening, this is a really good amount of time. I feel ready for more Gerry and his girl. Gerry, is that his name? Yeah, Gerry. His gals next week. And you just don't need 2 hours. It was really so refreshing. It moved quickly. They went through their arrivals really quickly. And I was glad to not get invested to people who went home. We'll come back to the who went home in a minute. But something else I want to throw at you, Callie. They turned the kissing sounds down. There was a lot of kissing, actually, in the trailer. And Gerry had a good smooch with the woman who got the first impression rose, whose name is Faith. And I was not assaulted by the sound of them swapping spit. And I was like, wow, thank you.
Well, I think we talked about before we saw we saw the trailer. I think that was it. And I was a little worried, just being like, I don't want to see these people kiss. It's just not something that I would sign up for. I was a little worried about the entire format with people over 70 making out.
Because of the kissing specifically?
Well, making out, the cattiness, the sexual innuendos, like all of it. I was just like, I think it's gonna make me cringe. Didn't. It was fine. A lot of pop kisses, which I was I couldn't be happier about.
A lot of what
kisses? Be happier about. Pop.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah.
No tongue. It's awesome.
Gerry, it's pretty interesting. First of all, I met him, but 2 days ago.
Wait. Can I ask you a question about that?
Yeah, of course.
One, is he really tall?
No.
Wow, he comes across tall on screen. And 2, does he look 47?
He does look really young in person. He looks really good. I would say one thing that's like, well, I like about him is that he is not trying to act younger. He's not trying to be anything else, at least right now. He's just trying to be himself. Even at the like press event I went to. So it was like a event for influencers and media. And as a Bachelor professional, I was excited to attend. Thanks so much for having me, ABC. And like, he was really friendly, but he wasn't trying to like seem cool. He was just being himself. I think they made a really good pick in this casting. Like, he just seems like a genuine nice guy. He spoke to like everyone exactly the same. And like, it was just like nice. Like, there was like, you know, these 2 women there who were like around the same age as him, who must have been influencers. They were wearing these big hats or whatever. And like, he talked to them the exact same way. Like, I think he talked to me, maybe a little bit differently, but like, he just really did seem like a regular guy who was plucked to be on TV. And very respectful. He gave a toast at the event, similar to how he did on the show. I spoke to him right after that. And I was like, were you nervous? Like, you didn't seem nervous at all, like addressing this crowd. And he was like, I was good at toast. Like, he's like, funny enough, giving a toast is something I'm good at. And then I guess the cameras, he wasn't so used to at first, but then got used to it. And yeah, I mean, is he super tall? No, he was taller than me, but like not that much taller. I'm 5'8". I would put him at like around 6 feet, I guess. I don't know. He is, you know, and he's in his 70s. Tall? I feel like he was like slouching a little bit. I feel like that just also happens as you get older. Like, your posture changes.
For sure. For sure.
I feel like having seen your father on television quite a bit, I feel like that's definitely true of him.
Oh, yeah. I say all the time that he's shrunk, but I don't know if he's like actually shrunk.
Well, that also happens. You do shrink. People do lose height. But anyway, yeah, he just seemed regular. He was really nice. And then, you know what's great about going to an influencer event? Having people around to take pictures who know how to get a good angle. So thank you to the 2 strangers who took a picture of me and Gerry. I really appreciate it. They did a great job. I was like, please, good angle. They understood. So yeah, he seems like a good guy. There were times where like he would have like kind of like a slightly like excited smile. And I was just... Oh,
I loved it.
It was adorable.
Yeah, I this was content that I was eating up. I also watched it late at night when, I'll be honest, it wasn't like my number one list of things that I wanted to do in the moment. And when I finished it, I was like, I think I feel better than when I started.
Oh, you know how nice.
Like, it's just good, wholesome content. You want to eat up. You want to cheer for Gerry. Like, I didn't like seeing him cry in the trailer for the season. Like, I really want him to be happy. I was also thinking, like, 43 years is such a long time to be married to someone.
That is longer than both of us have been alive.
Yeah. And to your point, like, it just all seems so real. Like, none of, like, I don't have like any, like, there's just no ulterior motives. There's no like scammer vibes going on. He just seems like a guy that found the love of his life and was so happy with her and wants to find it again. There was this video on TikTok that I saw like maybe yesterday or the day before of this 93-year-old man and like an influencer that like goes around and asks people questions, went up to him and was like, what was the best part of your life? And the guy was like, the best part of my life was being married to my partner for 70 plus years. She just passed away. And now, like, I'm essentially just waiting for my time to pass. But my time with her was the best. It was my best friend, blah, 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 all these things. And I sent it to my husband and I was like, are you going to feel this way about me? And he was like, go to sleep.
I love Seth's stories.
But I feel like that's little Gerry Bear, except for he's younger. The guy was 93 in the TikTok video. He's younger. So he's like, I think I think I should try to get this again. Like, that's how happy I was.
So I don't know. We don't know how many people he's dated since his wife passed away, Tony. But we do know it was in 2017. So he has been basically in the Tony zone for the last 50 years. Literally. Like, because they also went to high school together. Like, high school sweethearts or college sweethearts? I think high school.
High school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've been together basically, like, I think we can assume since he was 16. And that's wild. Every part of adulthood he spent with his wife or his deceased wife. Like, I think about myself and all the phases I've been through since I was in high school. And it's like crazy to think about having one person who is with you through all of that. And like, I have a couple friends who are married to their high school sweethearts, and I think it's just really impressive. And like, really, it's like, maybe it's less rare than I think, but I think it's a hard thing to accomplish. So this has got to be a crazy experience for him. And to your point, like, and there's no like scammer vibes. He eliminated the people who brought that. Like, two of the women who went home, I'm not saying they're scammers, but two of the women that went home are Renee, who was Barb Weber, Peter's mother's friend, the Chicago Bears cheerleader, and Patty James, the mother of Matt James. And I would say both of them, to me. And who?
Jimmy Fallon's aunt.
Chippy. Did she go home? I don't even think she was really in the mix. That was a joke.
Yeah, well, she's gone.
I guess, unless she like pops up again. Anyway, it was Jimmy Kimmel's aunt Chippy. Come on, Callie, keep it ABC.
Got the Jimmys mixed up, but Jimmy Kimmel's aunt. Remember at the end, she was like, "Did I get a rose?" And Jesse was like, "No."
I just assumed that was a gag, again. Kind of the way that like Guillermo goes places on behalf of Jimmy. But anyway, he sent home the scammers. He sniffed it out. Anyone who was like looking for fame or like just really excited to be on TV. And we barely got a lot of Renee. We barely got any Renee or any Patty. So I'm kind of like singling them out. But Renee's like cheerleading at the beginning. And then I'm just judgmental of Patty James. Like, I thought her dress was like picked out from Rachel Kirkconnell's like closet or something. It was like such a weird pick for her. It didn't look good. And just based on her social media response to when she was announced, like, I think she really like was loving the attention. And he just doesn't want attention seekers. He seems to want like really genuine people. And that was evident from the women that he like connected with.
Yeah, I agree. Patty James, I don't know if I really had like much of a feeling about her. Although I remember when I was going to sleep, I was like, did she say anything? Like, I feel like we just like didn't really get her at all on screen, which you would think that ABC would have loved to
I
give
know.
us that.
I think that's a good point. It also made me think, like, to everyone who thinks that the producers control everyone they pick, like, I'm sure that there's, like, some element to that, but, like, don't you think the producers would have wanted Patty James to go farther? Like, they would have been like,
yeah,
keep her for longer, and he was just like, no. I think that's, like, actually a really good beginning for the show, where it's, like, anyone who the two people we know had connections to previous leads are gone. So it's kind of a good look for both the show and for Gerry himself. Yeah. Great job, man. Did you like anyone in particular? Any favorites?
I really liked Faith.
Faith, yeah, she was sweet.
First impression rose to. Leslie looks 42. In general, these women, it was kind of shocking how young they looked.
Leslie does look really young. I noted that in my notes as well. But moreover, Leslie dated Prince, and she claims that he wrote a song about her.
I would like to know what song it is, but I liked Leslie's vibe. I think maybe the reason why I really liked Leslie's vibe was I liked how it turned into a dance party, and they like Gerry looked like you know how we watch things like that and you're just like, ugh, this is awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that way. Everyone looked like they were having a good time and dancing.
It reminded me of like wedding guests that were just like having fun.
Yeah. So their little date turning into a dance party and everyone having a good time, including Gerry, like it didn't feel forced at all. I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I liked it as well. It was sweet.
There was a lot of people that I was like, this, like the gimmicky stuff to me was not as cute
The
on
woman
the
who
show.
made the 6-inch reference, I believe that was the motivational speaker or the aging coach. I can't remember her job. Hold on a second. I'll tell you her name. I did feel good that her name is Susan. Oh, she was the wedding officiant. Excuse me. She's Susan. It made me feel good about myself that I can't remember these women's names like as much as I can't remember the names of the younger women too. Like I'm like, great. I just can't remember the names of 20 women at one time.
Well, there's just too much in the beginning.
Yeah, which I was, I was fine with. Like they got rid of 4 people right away. The other woman who went home was Pamela, and like she had no impact. I liked that they didn't waste our time on anyone in the opening intro that we weren't going to be seeing again.
Mm-hmm.
I was also worried that Sandra wasn't going to be sticking around very long because of her like meditation at the beginning when she was saying like "fuck." Why did she do that? Why that word?
I mean, she seems to really like it because the next conversation she brought it up again and was like, "I didn't say fuck this time." And they were dying laughing. I think she seems very sweet, even with the cussing. She seemed very sweet, but during the elimination ceremony, I feel like the people you see the most on your screen, if they aren't chosen in the first like 6 people, you're like, uh-oh, they might be going home because otherwise, why did we see them so much? So I thought she was getting eliminated, but she didn't. She's still there.
I know. I'm really glad. It seems like she goes far. She's in the trailer quite a bit, actually.
Speaking of the trailer, any notes?
A lot of Gerry tears, which I'm not that excited about. Like, let's keep Gerry happy, but it's got to be intense. I guess one thing I'm surprised by so far is I don't know exactly why I was expecting this, but it's not a different show by any means. Like, it actually is like the same format applied to just older people. And, the women are going to be staying in the mansion. They're going to be in bunk beds. Like, it seems like a lot of the dates are pretty similar and like the locations are pretty similar. They did seem to have that one date that they were like showing a lot of where I guess they have like, it looks like they're like in Greece. It's like a sock hop at a diner or something. And they're in the middle of it. It looks like that must be next week. But the dates look pretty Bachelor-esque. I guess I was just surprised overall they weren't like changing the format very much, which I guess is cool. Like, why should they, except for like my own expectations? At first I was like a little disappointed by that, but now just because I was like really hoping to, I don't know why, but I just was like hoping my mind would be blown by this show for some reason. But I don't know why I was expecting that. This is a guy from Indiana looking for a wife on TV. Like, what?
Well, to your point, one of the like things that I was shocked at is like he kept talking about how late it was. And I was like, wow, he's really making him do the exact same things that like the other guys do. This is like way too late for my mom.
Oh, it's way too late for me.
If they were up at 2, 3 a.m. filming this, like we gotta, if we do this again, ABC, they can start at 4 p.m. The filming can start at 4 p.m. They
need the sun to be down to be able to film it.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. Although I will say, usually they show us like a shot of them outside, and it didn't seem like the sun had come up. So I do feel like it was a shorter night than usual. But who knows?
It might be like 1 a.m. But I was just, when he kept saying it, I was like, oh my gosh, how late is Gerry up till? This must be so tough for all of them.
He did seem really sad to send some of these women home.
And this is night 1.
I know. It's only going to get harder, man.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him.
I don't want to see Gerry's tears. I did not like it at all.
Me neither.
His daughters, though, must be very happy with episode 1. He killed it. He did great.
Word on the street is he picked some good gals. I liked Ellen, who talked about her friend a lot. Ellen and Edith.
Was it Edith?
Sorry, her friend was Roberta. Excuse me. Ellen was her name.
Yeah.
I thought that was really sweet. I do feel like probably if you're a widow or if you had just not in a relationship, whatever it is, like I feel like your friends at that age are even more important because it's like you do have more time to like presumably you're not working as much or your kids are out of the house. So I feel like for your friendships probably are really important. I thought it was really sweet how she was so focused on Roberta.
I think even if you are married and your husband's still alive at that age, like for me, my grandma who had lost her husband but had friends who were still married, like it seems like a bit of a lifeline at that age.
Yeah, because you like your connection to like social life is probably less. Like you're not like going to the office every day. Although I am currently at my office and I haven't interacted with anyone here yet today. So there's that too.
No, but it's just a different life. Like you're retired. So there's nothing
Yeah.
that's like forcing you out of the house. So like you like your friends are why you do that.
Ellen's from Delray Beach, Florida. Where is that in Florida?
I have no idea.
You don't know Florida geography? You're basically from Florida.
No.
Where were you born, Callie?
Where do you think I was born? Just want to see if you can get it right.
Let's see. You were born in 1989, is that correct?
Correct. Just like Taylor Swift.
Oh, wow. So did you just turn 34?
Yep.
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
In 1989, I think you were born in Texas?
I was not.
New York?
But nope.
Where were you born?
I was born in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, yeah, of course. Damn it. I should have gotten that.
Well, it's not that easy. Me and all my brothers were born in different states. So.
Wow. How do you even know you're actually
So are my
related?
kids.
Except that you all look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Your sons were born in the same city. Oh, no, they weren't.
Nope.
Anyway, some more Gerry takeaways. This looked higher definition to me. I don't know if you noticed that, but I was like, did they change the camera lenses? It just looked a little bit different. I think there's a little bit something different happening with the photography. I like it. It looked newer.
I didn't notice that, but maybe it's just that we're like seeing more wrinkles and less like, you know,
I don't think
stuff
it's just
happening.
that they're old. Another thing I wanted to mention, I liked the bit at the beginning where it was silent until he put in his hearing
No,
aids.
I fucking hated it.
Why?
I hated it. We just didn't need it. Like,
I get the impression his hearing might be a sensitive topic for him based on being around him in a crowded area. So maybe they wanted to like bring it in right away because it's like part of his personality.
I did like, I cannot remember the woman's name, but she's like, I have some ear candy too.
Yeah,
like,
that was very cute.
Those like little connections were cute to me. I will say it did seem like Gerry was really like into some of the women. Like it seemed like that relationships did move along in the episode.
I think Teresa, the woman who pretended to be naked and then was not, she was like, don't worry, I'm not naked. Or she's like, I'm dressed, kind of. I thought she rebounded. I thought he seemed like very confused by that like fake nudity. It's clearly someone who's never seen the show. But then they had a connection, and I think that she actually like pulled it together really well. She seems sweet. She's one of the women who's like, I just want to be in love. Like, I just want that feeling again. I thought that was really, really moving. I also think
Honestly,
there's just yeah.
There was a lot of women in the interviews that are like, I was like, oh, she's kind of funny. Like I liked.
Oh yeah.
I liked a lot of the interview.
Kathy was funny too. Kathy got a lot of narration time. I bet she won't go far.
Yeah. I don't think she's going far, but it did seem like she is going to be a prime narrator till she goes home because she's funny.
Yeah, definitely. I also like one thing I also liked was that the women looked similar in their photos to how they do on the show. Whereas I feel like with non-Golden Bachelor, I'm like, this is two different people. But these women photographed as they look on the TV show, which I, for some reason, I guess just as a recapper, made it easier for me to follow. So I was grateful.
Well, I don't know how they do it for either, but it seems like women in the regular show, they take their like cast photos like a month before.
Yeah.
And then they get their hair dyed, they get Botox, they get, whatever, all these things before they go on. And so then when you're on, you're like, wait, what? You had brown hair? You have blonde hair? Like, it's just like a different person.
Yeah. Harder to keep up with.
Yeah.
One other piece of general feedback I'm sensing is that people around Gerry's age who I know, AKA my parents and some other people, like they're like, why would I want to watch this show? He's old. Like they're like, I don't want to watch old people dating. Like I feel like people who are like outside of the contestant pool's age, so like younger than 60 basically, are like, no thanks. Or sorry, people younger 60 are like excited to watch, and people over 60 are like, why would I want to watch that? Which I think is really funny.
I'll ask my parents and see what they think. That's interesting.
That is like I heard multiple people say that of just like, no thanks. Why would I want that? And
Yeah, no, I'll ask my parents for next pod to see what they think. But I do agree. It does seem like the younger demo is most excited about watching this.
I have a theory about
me
this.
And
which
you.
is, yes, absolutely. And all of my coworkers, like so many people at The Ringer are just like, I stopped watching The Bachelor, but I'm back. Like I'm back in. I think there's two reasons for that. One, it's different. And I think in general, reality TV has become very predictable. Even shows that are like less easy to predict or have become, more obvious. And then second of all, I've talked about this before. There are not a lot of depictions of people this age on television that isn't like related to dying, basically. Like there is Frankie and whatever on Netflix. I forget the other character's name. But
Grace and Frankie.
Grace and Frankie, thank you. There's that show. There was Golden Girls. Can you name many other shows that like talk about just like life as a retiree? There was the Kaminsky Method, I guess, which was popular on Netflix. But like even that's like, I don't know. I guess, and then like even like Only Murders in the Building has like Selena Gomez on it and like other young people. Like there's just not a lot of shows that are like about
fully focused on this.
Yeah,
age demo.
And not only focusing on like, the fact that they're like the older people in society. And that is obviously the premise of this. Like this is the Golden Bachelor, but then you just have to buy into the world the show is creating. So I think there's just something like exciting about that because we don't get a lot of depictions of it otherwise.
I also am excited about it because it's nice to watch people where I don't think anyone's like trying to get famous at 73. Like I just feel like.
And Gerry is not, he's made it clear. Anyone who wants that, he's not interested in.
Yeah, I just feel like he's actually just trying to find love, which makes it interesting to me. That's why I started watching The Bachelor in the first place. And it's turned into something different.
Now it's turned into a I don't even know. It's just pop culture.
Influencer launch pad.
This episode is brought to you by eBay Authenticity Guarantee. eBay knows that when it comes to jewelry, authenticity is the real gem. When you see the blue check mark that says Authenticity Guarantee, it means your next piece will be carefully inspired by jewelry experts and will always be worth its weight in gold. Whether you're looking to make a statement or build the perfect everyday look, eBay is making sure you get the real deal. With eBay Authenticity Guarantee, you can trust that jaw-dropping piece will always arrive jaw-droppingly real. Ensure your next purchase is the real deal. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is brought to you by Visible. Maybe you've already let your New Year's resolution slip. We all have, but you can still make a 2 year's resolution with Visible. Right now, you can get a one-line wireless plan from Visible for just $20 per month for 24 months. 24 months is basically 4 Bachelor seasons. That could be 4 engagements, 4 broken engagements. So many other couples we didn't see coming. It's really an eternity in Bachelor Nation. And that's unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon with no annual contracts. Switch now at Visible.com and use the code VISIBLE24. Don't miss out. Offer ends January 31st. New members only. Promotional rate with service on the Visible plan. For additional terms and network management practices, see Visible.com. On that note, should we talk about Paradise?
Yes. Speaking of the influencer launchpad, Paradise, because that's, another place. The only thing with Paradise that gives me hope, though, is that so many couples actually form from Paradise.
Dean and Kaylin just got married last weekend.
Yeah. Joe and Serena got married like a month ago. Dylan and Hannah got married like 2 weeks ago. Like, that's wild.
The fact that they got married in Paris is kind of crazy to me. I don't know why, but like, I just am like, I can't believe they got married there. Neither of them screams Paris to me or Paris wedding.
The pictures and videos from their wedding, I think, make sense for her.
I guess. It looks like a nice wedding.
Mm-hmm. Very pretty.
After one episode, Callie, who is your Paradise MVP?
Oh, gosh. After one episode.
Here's some contenders. Number 1, obviously, is Olivia. Will, Olivia. They're both bringing it. Kylie, a little bit. Kylie was funny. Kylie reminded me of Lydia in my defense of women who become very easily obsessed with men they don't really know. Because of Kylie talking about Aiden.
Putting Kylie and Lydia in the same bucket is blasphemy.
Everyone looks great. Rachel looked phenomenal. Like, this is the best she's ever looked.
Mercedes looked different, no?
She looked like Serena to me. Serena P.
I think she's gotten like filler or something and it's made her face look a different shape.
Maybe. I didn't recognize a lot of these people.
I know when she was on The Bachelor, we talked about it, but she is fucking gorgeous. And it's clear that every single person there thinks that.
Yeah. She's beautiful. There's no doubt about it.
I think I'm going to go with Will for MVP for first episode because he was a hot commode on the beach, and him falling into the water on the date made me actually laugh out loud.
It was so funny. And then he just sat there.
Soaking wet. Also, it wasn't like he genuinely was embarrassed.
What is this trend? This is like an alarming trend. This reminded me of Love Island with with Lana and Ron's final date, Love Island season 9, when they go to like the river and they're sitting at dinner with their feet in the river. Yeah. Like, what is this trend of keeping your feet submerged for your meal? And why would one want that?
I don't know. Even remember when, who was it? Was it Clayton? No, it was Zach. Was it Clayton? No, Zach. Remember?
It was Zach and Katie, and they were sitting with their feet in the water in that cave. And it's just like, why? Your feet are going to get all pruny.
I don't know. I don't understand it. I wouldn't want to eat dinner that way.
The thing about Paradise.
Also, if you're going to eat dinner that way, why is the platform that small? He just took a step around her chair, and the water was way deeper. Like,
well, it's like what is that called? Like, it's a very specific kind of like deck or whatever, or level in your pool. I was just watching a reality show where someone shows their backyard that hasn't been built yet. What show is that? That I was just, maybe it was a video, whatever. Like a suntan.
Summer House. I mean, that's Summer House.
Oh,
Southern
yes,
Charm.
thank you. It was Craig and Paige on
and he was
Southern
like,
Charm.
my sun shelf is my favorite part of
the sun shelf.
And Paige was like, that's for tanning.
Callie, you got me. Thank you so much. I was like, why was I just looking at a video of an unfinished pool?
Definitely Craig Conover's pool.
Side note, Southern Charm's back, baby.
Oh my God. It's so fucking good. Also, it's sick that I knew what you were talking about. I just want to point that out, that I was like, oh yeah, no, Craig's pool. Like, I do not know Craig Conover. That's embarrassing that we both knew. But we did.
I love it. I can't wait to watch Southern Charm. Anyway, yes, that was clearly the sun shelf. They probably were just thinking, I'm sure it was staged in a way where they're like, okay, they'll just go to their seats. But Will, being Will, was like, no, I'm going to like open her seat for her or pull her chair out for her or
in
something
the
like
water.
That. Yeah, in the water.
Make some waves. Well, he made waves. He took a tumble.
I honestly loved
it. He was shocked that it happened to him. I think he wants to be really smooth and cool. That was not smooth and cool. You know what else wasn't smooth and cool? I was thinking Juliet has to be thinking that I am vomiting right now.
Feet? The close-ups of the feet?
Sucking someone's toes that was just walking in the sand is next level.
It's disgusting. I also I don't have a foot problem, and I like to have my feet in the sand and in the water, but I didn't need that many close-ups of fucking Olivia's feet. I get it. They're sandy. I understand.
I did not need them. I did not need them. The whole thing was fucking weird. Honestly, immediate no. No. Also,
Olivia's wild.
Where'd that come from?
No pun intended. I don't remember Olivia at all. Like, I remember Sam more.
In my notes, it says Olivia from what season?
It's a great question. I think she was on Zach's season, but it may have been Clayton. I honestly don't know. Like, I forgot about so many of these people. It was pretty weird. Let's see. She was on Bachelor. Yeah, she was on Zach's season. She was eliminated week 1. What? That was last season, yeah.
Oh, week 1.
But she didn't. She could. Her and Sam. I mean, neither of them were actually on the show, really.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny how Jesse was like trying to get Sam to go down. It was hilarious.
Also, I wanted to be like Sam. So many people's chests gets red when you're like nervous.
Yeah,
just walk on down. Walk on down, babe.
I know.
You're okay.
Why is that? I guess maybe like it has to do with your heart and like your blood.
I don't know. Blood. I'm sure it has something with blood.
Another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why was Rachel so upset to be first on the beach? Like, what's wrong with that?
I don't know. I'm sure her chest was red too. Like, I think she just wanted someone to like cling on to. Also, the last like few months of filming for her was with Gabby. So maybe she's just not used to filming solo.
No, they kept them separate, remember? They like didn't get to see each other very much.
Oh, yeah.
She has a type. I think Brayden and Tino kind of look alike. They have the similar kind of their faces don't look alike, but they have the same stature, same kind of like physical presence. They're obviously really different, but I wasn't surprised that she was like, I'm into Brayden.
I just don't think that that's who she ends up with.
No, it's not. I saw some spoilers, but we won't get to them. However, she went straight for Double Denim Ken and made it sound like Double Denim Ken is like the shit. Like she's so lucky to be talking to him. And I was like, are we talking about the same guy?
Well, I think it was just once they said that the guys had the roses and there's more girls than guys. I think she immediately went into like fight or flight and was like, all right, so. I gotta lock down Double Denim so that I can stay on the beach. But I don't even think she really likes him. Also, there's two people that wanted him, so I feel like she like wanted to win that battle. This, in one singular episode of Paradise, I feel like we've learned more about most of the women than I knew their entire seasons. Like, I feel like we got more of Rachel's personality that we didn't necessarily know. Like, it was more, she just seemed, and the whole
way more comfortable.
Oh, wait, no, that was not on the show. I watched a TikTok where she talked about getting her breast reduction and how night and day she feels like more confident. The first time she went to the beach after getting her breast reduction, she was like, wow, this is crazy. She said rewatching her season, she could tell like how insecure she was about all the clothes that she was wearing and that the clothes didn't feel good on her because of how big her boobs were. And then like standing next to Gabby, who's like long and lanky, like the boobs just like really made her feel uncomfortable. And she gave her stylist a shout out in that TikTok, which I was like, ooh, I don't know about
was
that.
it Carrie
but
or like the stylist or Carrie?
No, she said Carrie. And I was just like, I don't know if I can go that far. But if you don't feel confident in your clothes, the clothes are going to look horrible. So I don't know if it was Carrie's fault or her fault, but she looked awful on her season. In this one episode, she shined.
She really did. Like she had a different presence about her. She seemed like, to your point, she seemed more confident. And I think, you know, we gave her a really hard time about her clothes, and we gave Carrie, the stylist, a really hard time. But maybe that also just he was trying to put her in clothes that she said she wanted, and she just wasn't sure how she wanted to dress or didn't know how to like find clothes she was comfortable in. So that's pretty cool. It's also, I think, pretty awesome that she's so open about it. Like that's like, because I'm sure other people can relate.
But I also think, to Carrie's defense, if someone is not confident, they're a really hard person to dress. Like if they're going to slouch or like be like awkward or just, you know, I think you can be in bad clothes or like bad makeup, bad hair, but if you're confident, like you can win some people over.
Definitely.
And the opposite applies. But like we got so much more of Kylie's personality. We got so much more of Kat's personality. I know that Olivia exists. Like we got more from the women in this one episode. I feel like it's just so much more personality.
Yeah. Also, I thought with Kat, being able to play her for jokes, like kind of like making her like the fact that she's stuck up and like sensitive and freaking out about a leaf, a joke versus a villain is just way more fun. And that is why Paradise is better, is because her and Brayden are immediately entertaining versus like irritants, you know? And so
For now,
sure. But I can't wait for the wave crashing over them. I have to say, I'm like, we're just coming out of summer here in New York, and I'm like jealous of them on the beach. I'm like, oh, I just love being in the ocean. Got to get back there.
That's definitely not my thought, but I am very, very excited for this season. You know who I thought looked fucking awesome?
Who?
Blake. I thought he looked
He did look good. His hair looked good.
Maybe that's what it is. I was like, wow, I don't remember him being like, I don't remember. I was a big Blake fan, but I don't remember ever thinking like he's so hot. And I was like, wow, he really looks awesome walking down to the beach.
He looked good. I don't like this trend of shorter swim trunks, like shorter and tighter. Like I'm not into it. It's not a style I like.
I don't like long, baggy swim trunks.
Yeah, but there's like a middle ground. I don't know. Also, I think on some guys it looks better. Like Avon,
too short, but I'm fine with it.
Avon's so hot. I'm like, I agree with Kylie. I'm so glad he's here. He's by far the most attractive guy there. There's no doubt in my mind.
Probably.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I really wonder. I'm excited to see like how Avon and Rachel react to each other.
I know. I'm looking forward to that as well. I wonder if they must have been in touch though, because like you have to assume like maybe they tried something. Because remember at the like they tried to like get something going between them.
No,
and then
not
he was
the tell-all.
pissed.
After the
finale.
Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then like they tried to like make something happen. I don't know. I really like Avon. I look forward to seeing who he ends up with. I mean, how is he not the hottest commodity on the beach, men wise, when he arrives?
I think it's gonna be like a free for all for him. I
would throw myself at him.
I don't want him to end up with Olivia based on what I've seen so far.
Olivia, I don't like. Like, I don't know. Although she did have a really good line when she's like, I'm not going to be sloppy seconds. And she was like, Kylie's tasting my lips. I'm not tasting hers or something. I was like, that's a good one.
I feel like I've heard that too many times. She just seems like she's doing way too much. And it did seem like on the beach, people felt bad for her. But I'm like, Will knew her for 2 seconds and she was the aggressor in that situation. I didn't feel bad for her. Could Will have said something? Sure. But like, and no, I guess we always have to say this on when we recap, like, it feels like it's been 10 minutes to us, but things move fast on the show. Things move fast on the beach.
It's really true. I also have to say, like, for both of them, for Will and for Olivia, I think of a day, like an hour one makeout is like just a good sign. So, just take the good and move on. I guess she's probably just panicked that no one else will pick her because there's only 7 guys.
I think it's hard to make out with someone, and then try to move on to someone else.
Right. I think for Will, it's different because Kylie picked him. But with Olivia, it's like, well, you went straight for
also,
Will and you guys already made out.
Also, standards.
Yeah.
Guys can do that and girls can't. So, like, she's like already like, oh, well, you made out with Will, so you're done. That's not fair.
She does need a new guy to come down. I wonder, Avon probably won't come until, I guess I take that back. He comes at the end, right?
Yeah, he's going to be at the beginning of the next episode.
I can't wait. I'm like really excited. I love Avon. There's a lot more to dig into. So we'll be back on Monday to talk about the next batch of Love is Blind. And we'll do a little bit more what's going on in Paradise, right? Thank you to our producer, Jade Whaley, so much. And we'll be back on Monday.